Hello and welcome to the Elevate Show. Oh, enthusiastic. I love it. I love it. Karibuni sana. And if you're tuned in at home, thank you so much for always being a part of the show. We have an amazing conversation lined up for you. Na kama kawaida unajua, Benjamin Zulu is in the building.
Thank you.
Karibu sana.
Asante.
Na sijui mrakle sana kwa miaka karibu na tuko hapa every Wednesday, but it feels nice. It feels
nice to come back here.
Yeah, it does. It does. We have different kinds of conversations on this show, but there's one kind of conversation that I always look forward to. The kind of conversation where we have men step up and talk about things they have gone through, the pain they have gone through, and the wounds they carry, and the healing that they've taken to be able to be here and have the courage to talk about that.
Yes.
And I know this is something that you're very passionate about, Zulu.
So dear to me. You know, we have Man Cave coming up.
Yes.
We are putting a meeting for men. When I put it up on my old guys, we are coming. Ladies started saying, can you also organize Woman Cave?
We also like that.
You guys already have 100 chamas. You go for your caves every week. You have dresses for the cave.
I have one this weekend.
So the uniqueness of men's dialogue is that it's a new phenomenon in society. It was assumed that because men are in control of the societal process, leadership and all that, then they are sorting the issues, then they are okay, then he's controlling the things. For that reason, the average man has no emotional vocabulary for how he feels and where he is. Two things we are being cast with as a man. Because you are assumed to be okay, the average man can't tell you when he's disturbed. He can't use that word. Yep. The average man can't tell you when he's stressed, when he's feeling anxious, when he's feeling on the edge, when he's feeling restless. The average man doesn't have that language.
Yeah.
So the average man, the second thing we have been cast with is, we have been taught how to win women, but we have not been taught how to test them. Huh. So when a man who loves a woman, he goes all out to win her.
Yeah.
You love the Mwikali from a distance. Yeah. But when you come up close, you see personal attributes. Did you take time to test whether she's worthy winning? Once you accept to come on a date, he assumes now he should marry you. So men come with a lot of naivety, assuming what he can see is everything. Women have what they present and what they have. You see the persona on the TV, you experience the person on the ground. Yes. What you see when we are shining and with makeup and all this suit is the persona, is the performing personality. The person who shows up in the morning with a groggy voice, who shows up with vulnerability, who shows up with the kids, wake up at night to help with it, who sits with you at the hospital. Can that woman be truthful when you are down and she's up? Can that woman be loyal when it's not favorable? Men don't know that. So those are the two twins. I'll tell you the third one next time. I don't want to go there, but it's a problem of we have been taught how to look for money, feed the family, but you've not taught to get a team player wife. So women still come with this idea of your money is ours, but mine is mine.
Yeah.
And then they have secret accounts and what they're doing with the money and they're not part of it and you never count her as part of her. So your backup is your mother, your backup is your boys, your backup is Chama, your backup is Tala, your backup is everything, but it's not your wife. So men are breaking for carrying too much by themselves.
Yes.
That's what I call the unholy trinity. But today we are picking only one.
Okay.
We're picking these first two where the men don't know how to. Men are coming to talk after they survive the fall. Tambo Becky said we need to stop picking people from the river and go upstream to find out why are they falling in. So men are falling into the river, but nobody is going upstream. In this show, we go upstream to see where they're falling in. Yes. Instead of repairing the 75-year-old man, can we save the 25-year-old boy?
Oh, yes.
Instead of rehabilitating the drug, can we save him from starting the drugs?
Yes.
Instead of having to wait until they're addicted, trying to medicate stress using drugs, to medicate depression, rejection, loss of esteem, further wounds, to medicate real issues with sleeping with women, with the body count, with the pornography, with OnlyFans, with the football, with the Chelsea, with addiction to whatever, gambling, whatever. Instead of them going all the way, can we intercept them before they start receiving the blows? And then only the number that survives can come and talk. You know, the ones who talk to you are the ones who survived? Yes. Those who did not survive. We don't even recognize.
Where are they?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So this is the place where we are trying to, and I've met men, I've been surprised how men follow. This morning, one of them found me somewhere and he said, look, give me the chance of a lifetime wanted to pay your bill, you have helped him. And he showed me his timeline full of our shows and what he has been watching, saying, man, I journey with you guys. When I'm flying up there, I'm watching your things. When he said, the dialogue you talk for the first time is giving the men the language to say our reality because it was denied. We were suppressed to think we should be in charge, no, our families. The average man does not know that he can marry a woman and she turns your life upside down. And because society does not allow you to quit, you're a man, why are you quitting? Should control, she's your woman. Control, you know that's your home. How can you cry? How can you say you're the man? And this woman is impossible. How many men have married emotionally unstable women, disloyal women, disrespectful women, women who are still entangled with their mothers? You marry one, but they come to, you know, the mother and the daughter. One guy told me the mother-in-law would sit with a seat at the door of his bedroom to watch TV. They're watching with the wife, and you are minding your business. Somebody's peeping through the door, watching your TV. This was a lady and a mother. And, why are you trying to separate my mother? The woman is not really...
Surely.
The average man cannot question the phone calls, the endless phone calls Miguel is making the mother.
Yeah.
He's too emotional. He will be gaslighted. He will be called a devil, a narcissist.
Yeah, we're throwing that around. Yeah, we are.
You know,
yeah.
And because my mentor told me that if you marry a woman who is entangled with the mother, you're finished. You're finished. Phone busy. We finish. I saw you want to talk to your woman. Phone busy. Break time. Phone busy. Phone busy. She's talking with who? The mother. Who will you tell? Who will you tell? And so your mother-in-law knows everything. Even now you perform. And then when you meet.
Hakuna kuficha.
No, that's what we feel. When you tell me to accompany you to your home, I don't know what your mother knows.
Oh, goodness.
So we sit there knowing, you know that discomfort of somebody who knows you and you don't know what they know.
Yeah, yeah.
You know.
Yes.
So we quarrel and you update your mother while we quarreled. After we resolve the quarrel, your mother has not resolved.
No.
She's still angry.
Yes.
What you did with my daughter last year in November.
And in June.
We moved on. She has not moved on.
She can't.
So we have that problem. Men who cannot tell, is this girl have individuality? And that's, I know they don't know because they keep dating. They mistake youth for innocence. They think a girl who's young and inexperienced is harmless because you meet her when she's just a yes girl who takes you like the leader and who giving everything. Men like to go to college. They like to get these interns who just arrived at the company, who looks innocent and has no personality. He thinks now that's a blank check he can culture and custom make for himself.
Mold.
This is a woman with a complete person. This is just a small snake that is taking shape. Not all of them are snakes, of course, but you're saying even when she's evil and impossible to control, when she's young, she looks innocent because she's inexposed. Men keep driving their Mercedes all the way inside to the village, to Lugulu. Inside the village, look for a clean girl. Okay, they leave Mwekali here. They go for that girl who does not know anything, thinking she's safe. So he puts her in a Mercedes this class and comes with her all the way to I came with a fresh wife, not spoiled, not contaminated by the village. After she lands here, where does she go? To her nature, she follows her heart. Men don't know that the right woman is one who has differentiated herself, who has negotiated the sex craving stage, who has said no to toxic women, who has finished the madness of youth, who has decided she wants to be wife, to carry the cross of being a wife, to rebuild the man. Those are personal decisions. You can't speak them to her. You can't condition her to it. Marriage is a very hard job. Not all women can manage it. Marriage is too sacrificial. Not all women want to be bothered so much, waking ahead of everybody, sleeping after everybody, feeding everybody, dressing everybody, thinking for everybody, remembering everybody's doctor's appointment. It's an emotional work. I mean, you carry the emotions, you carry the appointment, your calendar is full of everybody's birthday, everybody's everything coming up. You have to remember what function. Being a wife is not easy. I don't know why men assume because she's pretty, she can manage being a wife. Too hard. That's why she gets children. You have to employ 4 house helps.
Yeah.
Because she's not part of it.
No. Didn't sign up for this.
You know, my wife keeps noticing I'm driving. It's very hard to move around the women because they're carrying their family. That dress good for so and so. And so she keeps seeing things for everyone. You know, being wife is a calling. Men don't know that. They think because she's curvy, lovely, that's a mistake we make. We marry very beautiful problem, a very handsome stress. I mean, very attractive stress. So fine and so restless. So sweet and so unstable. That's the combination of what we marry. We want people to turn heads. A trophy that is just a trophy. Can't do anything, must be assisted, everything, just special. And then when we are promising, what do you tell? You never have to set again. Go over my dead body, a queen like you should struggle when I'm on earth. You never have to set. Why if you give me the chance, I will give you the heaven.
Jaber.
You think Mikali was used to working, earning away and paying bills and then you tell her, just relax. When I'm here, I don't need to bother. So Mikali is working for leisure. Zulu said, you take care of it. My bae got me. You are the one who promised it. She did not even know that was possible. She did not even think that was really. But you said, why when I'm here? If you give me the chance. So Mikali says no to other idiots who are saying we are going to be a team. This guy said you're going to be my trophy. Team for who? I'm going to be a trophy. Even you have to choose between team and trophy. You know. Yes. So you put her on a pedestal. The day you fall sick, she does not know how to help because you did not introduce team, introduce trophy. The day you have no finances and she has her own money, you know how to sort out. You know where to borrow. Hers is hers. You told her never to worry. We promised the wrong thing. We signed bad deals, even with a good person. And let's remind men, you can have a bad agreement with a good person because you don't know how to negotiate.
Yeah.
You are too insecure to be rejected that you've overpromised trying to be accepted. Samson did not overcome when he lost the real wife. When he came to seduce the wrong wife, he tried to replace the right one with the wrong one. Yeah. The first woman he loved genuinely. This second one found him still down. Sometimes men are trying to marry Delilah because they're still trying to replace the one who left. And they overdo, they tell their secrets, they get themselves shaved, their covenants gone, their spirituality gone, their stability gone, their eyes, their visions gone. They are reduced to grinding. Men are grinding because they married a woman who is just taking away, taking away, taking away. So I'm happy finally we are coming to men to tell them it's okay to have emotional vocabulary, to know how to test the character of women, to know that you are also worthy acceptance. And if a woman does not match, even if you had approached her for the date, you can say, thank you very much for the meeting, but I don't think I had proposed it, but I don't want this. I was just asking you to come close and after we talk. After I talk personal places, don't chat on, don't katia her on Instagram. Those are images and videos. Those are filters. You have not seen the body odd, the ugly heart, the bad heart. Some women just are in person, they're very ugly. But on camera, they're very
filters.
Please, don't promise and don't say I'm looking for marriage. I will not waste your time. Don't talk. Are you stupid? Ask for coffee. When she comes for coffee, you know, cameras also make people equal.
Yeah.
If Murembo Mcheshi and Mwikali post on Instagram, they are full on the frame. But are they the same?
No.
Think about physical size next time you are falling in love with Instagram. Think about it. Instagram equalizes people. You need to meet and find out. Yeah. Some people are posting this. I'm down here. There are many issues. Okay, overweight issues. You need to meet. Mrembo Mcheshi may make you think she's this. When she arrives, you're like, sorry, I'm waiting for this person. Yeah, it's me. So, brothers, up your game. Don't be so insecure. Don't be at night when your emotions are very susceptible. Past 10 midnight, your body enters another state of rejuvenation and it's very vulnerable. 3 a.m. is the weakest hour. That's why you find yourself very unable to control yourself. Don't make bedroom calls. The woman, when she's in the bedroom, you will melt. You're just melting yourself. Don't zoom in all this they are showing you. Don't hug. Avoid the hugs. You're exciting other things, bro. Be careful, careful, bro, Don't hold there. Sometimes they even touch you skin to skin, and then you are excited. She will ignite the fire and leave you burning. My brother, women are sweet in their own way. Every woman is sweet in her own way. And she has this bedroom-themed perfume. You come close, and you're like, oh. And then you are left there harassing mattresses, thinking this is Murembo Mcheshi. So I want you to be careful. Maintain the safe distance. You are not that useless. You are acceptable. You are a prince in your own right. I lamented the other day and said, most princes marry when they are commoners. By the time they realized he was a prince destined to have a kingdom, a doctor who is exemplary, a lawyer who is outstanding, a politician who is outstanding. Good gentlemen, before they know the year, they will have married a common woman. Before he knew who he was too insecure. He married the wrong person at the wrong time. They typically choose when they are a student. When you're students, you are just like donkeys. You are the same. You have no identity. You look the same. Only apart from uniform, KMT, they still wear uniform. You should wear uniform to remind you your distinction has not arrived. We look the same. You just have an admission number. You don't have a unique number. I suggest you never date when you're a student because you're too common at that point. Your distinction has not arrived. Even you're not aware of it. Only to arrive out here, realize you married a commoner when you belong up there. You're already committed. There's no reason to break up, to start afresh, but you've married downwards. You are an ego who married a chicken. You'll be dragged down for life. I'm happy we are coming to a place where you can tell men the secrets of the trade.
Absolutely. Demeni. The men today. Are you guys ready?
Oh, yes.
For the men, we are ready. Men, are you ready?
Yes.
Yes? Yes, we're stepping into our princehood, right? Great. The conversation today is about surviving the invisible wounds, emotionally, psychologically, and spiritual abuse that happens in marriage. But I have a question for you today. The question is, have you ever stayed in a relationship that broke you more than it built you? And why did you stay? Have you ever stayed in a relationship that broke you more than it built you? And why did you stay? It's NTV Kenya on all our social media platforms. Now, ladies and gentlemen, help me introduce our guest today. He's 49 years of age, and he's a social media manager as well. He is John Sunday. Welcome back to the Elevate Show. Today we're talking about surviving the invisible wounds, emotional, psychological, and spiritual abuse in marriage. And the question that I'm asking you today is, have you ever stayed in a relationship that broke you more than it built you, and why did you stay? Have you ever stayed in a relationship that broke you more than it built you? And why did you stay? NTV Kenya on all our social media platforms. Talk to us. Let us know why you stayed. And I hope this show, by the end of this show, you'll have probably an insight, a direction, help, to unshackle self from that particular situation. Our guest today is John Sunday. Karibu sana.
Thank you, Mikali.
Really, really good to have you on the show. And your story is what we're talking about today. And like we said, me and Zulu earlier, is that we look forward to having a man sit on this seat and, say, I went through this, I'm speaking about it, because through your story, then you encourage others to speak out and probably leave sooner than you did in situations where they should be leaving. But maybe you can just tell us a bit more about yourself, John.
Thank you for the opportunity. So my name is John Sunday. I'm 49 years old. I'm a social media manager, as I have been introduced. My story is pretty long. I'll try and compress it. It's 20 years long, but I'll try and compress it into the time frame that we have.
Yeah.
So I met this lady back in 2003.
Okay.
Like Zulu has just mentioned, I had finished campus, I was working, and I was looking for someone now I would settle with. And so I bumped into her, and it's not someone who was new. This is someone we had grown up with, so she was fairly known to me. And so after a few discussions here and there, I will not go into the details because Zulu has basically summarized everything about whatever it is we go through.
Yes.
So we started living together in 2005.
Okay.
Yes. So between 2005 and this is now 2025,
25.
That's why I'm saying it's 20 years old. A story that I'll try and compress.
Okay.
So it's such a long story. It's a sad story, but it's a story also of triumph, which I hope, like you've mentioned, by the end of the show, people will be able to learn from some of the mistakes that we did and hopefully not repeat again.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So what is this story? You met her, dated her, courted her, you'd known her for a while, and 2005 you start living together.
Yes.
At what point then did probably things shifted? Because you've known her, and I don't know if you'd seen any red flags before that.
So we started staying together in 2005. So I'll try and fast track. 2007, we were blessed with a baby girl who's now 18 years old. But before then, yes, there were some red flags that were there. But like Zulu has mentioned, maybe we were naive and maybe we are ignorant. Because I would see that, but then in myself, I would be like, no, this cannot be happening. Maybe we would sit down and I would ask her, why did you do this? And I would convince myself, she's a nice person. Yeah, I would overlook that. 2005, 2007, we have the baby. Now we start focusing on the baby. So all my mind is on the child, on the family. I'm not working at that point, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah,
she is?
No, she wasn't also not working.
Okay.
But I managed to get a job towards the end of 2007.
Okay.
So I'm taking care of the family, and life is moving on. However, there are things that are happening that back then, right now at least it's different. Back then, I couldn't tell, I couldn't identify, I couldn't pinpoint that this is not right for someone to do this.
What things were those? What are some of the things that you'd see and you're like, uncomfortable, I'm not so sure what this is, but you know, she's nice.
Yeah, Zulu has mentioned, we lack the vocabulary to explain,
Yeah.
but being the specialist that she is, that he is, you'll be able to probably say what that was.
Okay.
So one of the items were, we are with her, but she will leave me and then go, for lack of a better word, let me use flirt with someone else, and we are together.
Okay.
We would go out when we are happy. We come back when we are quite annoyed. We're not talking. She's not talking to me, actually. She will not talk to me for 1 day, 2 days, 1 week. She's not talking.
You live in the same house?
Yes, we live in the same house. And I'm trying to find out, okay, we went out when you were happy.
Yes.
We came back when you're not talking, but I don't know what it is I've done, and you're not telling me.
Okay.
And I'm asking, and you're not saying. So how am I supposed to know whatever happened? So we've lived like that. I've gone through all that. 2009, we got another baby. I know that I've had so many questions being asked, like rightfully whatever it is you asked, why didn't you leave? Why couldn't you leave early? I would say sometimes you do not know whatever is happening because it's so smooth and, for lack of better word, so insidious, actually. That's the word. So you do not know that you are being manipulated, one.
Okay.
You do not know that you are being conditioned to do something that you would not have done ordinarily.
Yeah.
So life continued, but it was a whole lot of challenges. 2013, we got a baby boy. Unfortunately, this boy passed on. 2018 as well, I lost an 8-year-old girl. This period, she disappears from the house. So my daughter died at around 6 in the evening.
Yeah.
10 p.m., her sisters come and pick her.
Yeah.
Of course, we've done everything else. We've taken the body to the morgue and everything. So at 10 p.m., her sisters come and pick her. They leave and disappear. She was staying somewhere along Mombasa Road. So I'm in the house alone. I've just lost
your daughter.
Yes, so I'm alone in the house. They have picked her with, the other siblings. They have gone. And everyone is calling me. What happened? What's the next plan? What are you hoping to do? So I sit down and I start writing the obituary for my daughter because everyone is asking what is the next plan. It was a Sunday when she passed on.
Yeah.
So Monday, because it was an abrupt death, we needed to know whatever happened.
So she didn't come back?
No, she didn't come back. So I needed to know whatever happened to the child. So we did the postmortem. Of course, it was, unfortunately, cardiac arrest. That's what we were told. So what I'm trying to say is, in the period of when I lost my child, that was July 15th.
Yeah.
When the sisters took her, she came back in October.
In October?
Yes.
And what?
Of course, we went for the burial.
Okay.
But after the burial, she now left. Came back in October.
What explanation are we giving for not being here? Is it grief? What is it? What are you receiving?
I think I'll leave that for the specialist maybe to explain, because from where I sit, I have never gotten an answer up to now. She's never told me where she went. I used to have an uncle who was a bishop. So I've been raised up from a Christian family.
Okay.
So I used to have an uncle who was a bishop. He sat us down immediately after the burial, when we were supposed to be coming back to Nairobi now, trying to talk to us, because I think I had tried reaching out for help. I'm struggling with this. I'm trying to find help because this and this is happening. So he sat us down, talked to us, but she couldn't listen. So at the end of it all, I came back to Nairobi with the elder girl, who's now 18, and she remained at home. But then she left and went to her place, and from there was no communication until October, when she came back.
What were the circumstances around her coming back?
Now she came back and The reason she gave is she had gone to look for God. So she came back a born-again Christian girl.
Okay.
Yes. So more challenges now when it comes now to that, because now from 11 p.m., 1 a.m. till 5, she would be praying in the house. And she's praying, and I can tell you, I have seen people pray and they vibrate on the ground, but they'll wake up and not even say hi to you. She would finish that and not even say hi. There was a time she moved many churches. She was looking for a place she could settle. That's what she said. So she found a church somewhere in Thika. She would leave the house at 5 in the morning. She's going to church. She would come back at 1 a.m. 6, 7, 8, 6 p.m., 1 a.m. That's when she comes back.
On Sundays?
Yes.
That is Monday morning.
Yes. Trying to ask, inquire. There was a lot of friction. Let me just say there was a lot of friction in the marriage, in the family. Trying to inquire that, there's a statement she said, I'm interfering with her salvation journey. So you see, you're blocked from ever asking.
Yeah, you can never question me.
Yes, you
when
can
you
never
question me, you
question.
question God.
That is the thing.
I mean,
yeah, so it continued like that. She would come at 1 a.m. and because she knows, we've tried sitting down to talk about it, but she's still doing the same thing. So she comes back at 1 a.m. and she stays in the sitting room, so she doesn't come to the bedroom. But even in the sitting room, I hear on call, she's on phone, talking to, I don't know who at that time. Inquiring, she was talking to those men of God. I put quotes because I don't know if they're men of God. And they will talk until 2 a.m., you know. Then she would sleep there in the sitting room. And then I would ask her, because what are you trying to show the kids?
Yeah.
Because the kids would wake up and find her there.
yes.
You know, yes, so I would question, why is it that you have a room, but you're sleeping, you know, in the sitting room? What are you trying to show the kids? What will the kids see? You know, and she would not tell me anything. You know, and like I mentioned, in between there was a lot of friction. So there were this time, I'm trying to question, then it moves to quarreling, then we are shouting, you know, and then the kids, you know, are exposed to this. It really affected me. It disturbed me because I know what we are supposed to do. First of all, as a parent, you're supposed to protect the little ones.
Yeah.
So for me, I was trying the best I can to protect the children. But my experience for what I went through, no, she was probably not interested. There's one time, it was a Saturday, I remember. I do not know where the arguments came from, but we argued from 2 p.m. till 5. Only to realize, and like I said, he's a specialist, and he'll tell you the terms, what it's called. Because back then, I still didn't know what it was called. Now I know what it was called. You are moving around a topic, you don't get to a solution. You're just going round and round and round and round. Even by 5 p.m., we still had not arrived at a solution, and I was so exhausted. So I let it go. So there was a lot of that. I tried so many times seeking for help. I talked to her father thrice. The third time, he told me, I was not there when you guys met. So, mujipange, which it's fair. I mean, he was not there when we met, but yeah. So I tried seeking help from the church. There's one pastor we went to, and he gave us audience from 5 p.m. till 10 p.m. Trying to talk to us, trying to understand what the problem is. We left the church, went home. He even anointed us with oil after praying for us, and went home. We got home, it was all a mess. You know, so it's been a lot of, I'm trying really to compress the 20 years of that experience. Yeah. It's not really been fun. I actually do not know what it means like, or at least didn't know what it meant, you know, to have, like Zulu has mentioned, somebody you can honor, somebody who can respect you, somebody who can help you grow. You know, it was always being pulled down, being pulled down. And I used to journal a lot.
Okay.
So some of the things that I'm saying, I didn't know what they were called back then.
Yeah.
So when I think I would say when my mind opened up, I went back. I have diaries from up to 2009. I was writing the experiences that I was going through. So I went back to those particular diaries, and page by page, you will not believe me, every single day I had documented challenges that we were going through. If it's not being abused, if it's not being, you're being accused, you're sleeping, I don't know with who, so many of them, so many of them. So I was trying to find help. So I bumped into one of a post, it was on IG, and whatever had been written there was exactly whatever it is I was experiencing. So I became curious. So I started reading. And the more I read, the more now I started discovering and having words for the experiences that I had gone through. That's why when I went back to my diary, now I could tell this was dog whistling. Now I have a word for it. This was manipulation, triangulation. There is something I even came across, and Zulu maybe will be able to put that in context. There's something called DARVOS, Devos.
What
It's
is
deny, attack, deny, attack, reverse, victim, oppressor. What they do is, I'm coming to you and I'm telling you, I'm not comfortable with whatever it is you've done, but you reverse everything else and you start attacking me. And you look the victim. When I'm trying to tell you, I'm not comfortable, let's talk about this. So there are words right now that with my reading I have come across that I didn't know that existed, that now explain the experiences that I went through.
Okay.
Maybe the other thing I can add is, in the process of really trying to seek help, I received a call at one point from her employer. This is now 2 years or so after we had lost the girl in 2018. So this was about 2020, 2021. I received a call from the employer, and they're like, are you so-and-so? Do you know this person? I was like, yes, that's my spouse. So they were like, we can't talk over the phone. If you can find time to come over, we need to discuss something. I was like, I will come right now. If it involves my spouse and it will help me, I will come right now.
Yeah.
So when I went there, they were like, we have noticed whatever is happening, we need to understand what is happening at home. So they were like, we see she arrives in the office at 10, leaves at 1, arrives at 1, leaves at 5. Like, what is happening at home? I was like, to be honest, I do not know, because I leave early with the children at 7. I leave her sometimes in the house. When I come back in the evening, either she's there or she's not. My assumption is she's at work, yes. So in between, I do not know. Anyway, the employer mentioned they have noticed these changes, and they think she's possibly undergoing depression.
Okay.
That's what they said. So they needed to assist her, because there were many things they mentioned, but they were like, we do not want to fire her, we want to help her.
Okay.
So they opted to take her to a rehabilitation center. So now at the rehabilitation center, after we did the so many tests, for me, that was the first time a word like narcissistic personality disorder now was brought in. I have no idea what that was at that point.
Yeah.
So my reading and my understanding now opened up my mind to the experiences that I was going through, understanding everything else that I went through for the last so many years. Yeah. And I can tell you, Mikali, if the audience here can ask a question from any sector of life, I have gone through it, and I'll be able to say this and this happened to me, because that was happening then, but I didn't know.
Yeah.
So yes, just in summary format, that has been. Yeah. So fast forward 2023, 2025, things now got really bad, really, really bad, because I think now I was more aware. I can tell what you're doing, and I'm comfortable with that, and I'm pointing it out.
Yes.
I don't like this.
Yeah.
And that now brought even more strife, because now there was a lot of pushback towards whatever it is I was trying to bring the person to accountability, but they do not want that. So they would flip, the script. They start blaming you. I've been called names. I've been told I've slept with so many people. In fact, if I was given an opportunity, there are some comments that are there if I was to read. This is a family show, right?
It is.
Yeah. If I was to read the comments that were written, you'll be shocked. This is somebody who's written, and this is somebody you thought, you'd make a life with. So that happened. Finally, at the end of it all, I think we couldn't handle it, so she moved out.
Okay.
And in the moving out, again, my mom was not feeling well, so I'd traveled to go check up on her mom. So I received a call from my neighbor. Hey, boss, I can see you guys are moving. Yes. I'm like, no, we are not moving. Like, but I can see a truck here, and it's loading stuff. Yes. So it quickly clicked on me. Yeah, so I was like, it's okay. Don't worry, we are moving. I told the neighbor, we are moving a few things. So that's how she finally moved out. I came back to an empty house.
Yes.
She had picked everything. I think the only thing that was left was my bed and the TV, because it was stuck on the screen. On the wall.
The wall.
Yeah.
Children?
She went with them. So in that panic and everything, and because of the experience I'd gone through, so I quickly rushed to the courts, because I was thinking the children. I'm trying to protect the children. I know the experience I've gone through. I was thinking about the children and what they would be going through.
Yeah.
So we went through the court process. In the wisdom of the courts, they thought it is best children under 10, I think, or 18 are supposed to be with the mother. Yes, so she's staying with them. I get to see them, fortunately.
Okay.
Yeah, but there's all that. So that's where we are as of now.
Yeah.
But in terms of now getting better and healing, and the reason why we've been able to come here is that after now discovering and reading a lot, I actually followed your platform, because there's a lot he actually posts about that, and those are some of the help I got from whatever he posts, because now I could identify what the experience was called. So I have tried. I haven't seen a professional counselor yet.
Okay.
Because my interest has always been the children, so I try the best I can to enroll them, just to make sure they can vent out.
Or the children going through counseling.
Right.
Okay.
The children. But for myself, I would say I have cancelled myself from many of his posts.
You've been cancelled through Zulu's posts?
Yeah, many of his posts.
Okay.
Yeah, and God has been in the midst of everything.
Okay.
I can tell you there's a point during one of the moments when we were having this argument. It became violent. And at that point, she picked the phone and called this man of God, and started saying the way I want to kill her and everything. So this is information she's giving the man of God. Yeah, that I want to kill her and everything. So I snatched the phone, and I talked to
the man of God.
Yes, and I asked him, I don't understand how you guys as a church can hold married women and men, I'm assuming there are men there as well, from 6 in the morning
to 1 a.m.
To 1 a.m. You guys don't have families, or how does it work? So we just talked nicely, but to her, she was screaming, causing tantrums. The kids woke up, all that. So it's really been a struggle. But I've been able to slowly by slowly talk to a few people here and there, trying to find help.
Okay.
Some of the things, even as I find help, some of the things that are coming to me are depressing. in the sense that a neighbor comes and says, hey, I used to wonder, because you were told you never used to support the family, you never used to buy anything. Mikali, I can tell you in 2019 when we had COVID, she was not working, she stopped working. Luckily where I was, my organization was able to support us. We sat down with her and I told her, I know you're not working, I will take care of everything as usual. Plus, because I know you're not working, I'll give you 10,000 just to maintain yourself. That's what I can afford.
Yeah.
And that's what I used to do.
Every single
But she told her father,
yeah,
the kids are not going to school. There is no food. So the father would send her money.
So in their eyes, you did not step up during that time, but then you were doing everything to just make sure that everyone at home is taken care of. Zulu.
You know, he finally dropped the word narcissist, and this one we are dealing with is called religious narcissist, and they are very hard to detect because they act religious and holy, and they hide behind God and the church. And I'm very sorry, my brother, what you went through is very inhuman. I can even imagine the courage is getting to talk.
Yes.
When you go through this kind of abuse, you can give up on life. When you hear people drunk themselves to death, crash somewhere, people don't just die by hanging themselves. Others just drive without death wish, you know. They're not looking for death, but if they see it coming, they won't step out of the way.
Yes.
They'll crash in the car or whatever. My brother, I'm very surprised that you're this strong. Yeah. The first half of your life has been consumed by warfare. Yeah. But I should take it positively that you're going to save a few other lives. Mwikali, whenever young men talk to me about dating, I always tell them the right way to be safe is to grow alone without dating or involving yourself sexually anyway with women until you are mature for marriage itself, not cohabitation. He used the word, we started living together, and the father later told him, mulianza na huko endeni na huko. You see, when you take shortcuts, sometimes you don't have perspective. I tell men that sex is very cheap. If you meet a woman just because you are acquainted, you say they were acquainted with each other. When you know somebody from the village, you usually assume you know them. You know the child they were. You don't know the grown-up they have become. Yeah. Children have not yet shown their personality disorders and their attitudes and arrogance. No. It's just, in the years when you are interacting, same school, same church or whatever, what has happened, there could be a total turnaround. So, Mikali, I want to ask men, let's learn from those who have survived it, because you may not come out. This brother came out. You don't know whether you will come out. Many of them don't collapse towards God and faith. They collapse towards alcoholism. They collapse towards, they can't work, unemployable, stranded. Many men you see drinking themselves to unconsciousness, they are dealing with this. They're trying to block out unbearable pain. Just to tell you, there are people who are impossible to live with. The only way you can be safe is discipline yourself sexually. Choose the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. Everybody must go through some pain. Stop thinking you can escape it. No, you can't. Delayed gratification, where you take the time to grow, to evolve, to learn about. And while you are 18, between 18 to 28, I encourage you, that's a decade to create yourself. Yeah. Don't sleep with women, don't do things. If you have a close mentorship of a father or a father figure, a boy can marry at 25. Psychologically, you mature at 25. Before 25, don't talk to. He was about 24. You notice that? Usually the girls are usually younger, ideally. So usually go to younger women or something like that. Even if they're not younger, you yourself, you're still mentally very fluid. The brain is not yet matured. Yeah. Still very presumptuous and naive and innocent and going with good intentions. I mean well. You know, it's only us. You're just innocent approaching it. You'll be scammed great time. Just to tell them. And you see people online say, we married at 18, 19, we are okay. You crossed the River Tana by swimming. You escaped the crocodiles. And now you think that's a safe way to recommend to everybody. If you marry when you're very young and you get it right, just the prayers of your grandmother that saved you. Yeah. That's not a safe way to cross. I'm very sorry for this brother, but he can learn. He is sharing, using his pain to serve a purpose. Yeah. It's a warning that I nearly died there. Avoid this route. You know, this is not safe. For brothers, it's possible for a woman to break you down while playing victim. What he's calling, that big word is called gaslighting. The gaslighting is a man and a woman were seated somewhere. The word was invented when they were seated somewhere with the lights in a restaurant, for example, restaurant setting. But the lights were those of gas, not electricity. And the lights of gas you can turn on and off. You can up and down. So the woman would step out or something, and the man turns the lights down. She comes, oh, it has changed. You have turned down the lights. No, I didn't touch the lights. Are you dreaming? And she said, how? But no, was it like this? Then she goes out, he turns it up. Oh, it's bright. What? Are you okay? I didn't touch the lights. So it was invented because he was confusing her to think she's insane.
Oh, goodness.
They do things and they deny it until you question your sanity. That's gaslighting. They deny blatantly. You saw them talking so and so. Me? Where? Did you see me? Look at now. Can you go for? You're not okay. They even send you to counselors. I've heard many people coming to me sent by the narcissist. And sometimes the narcissist can accompany to control the dialogue so that I don't open their eyes. Actually, they don't want you to go to. Many counselors are not narcissist aware. Because even to pronounce that word is very difficult. So the traditional counselor who just did minimal training with all their good intentions, narcissism is like the highest level of medical complexity. Not every doctor will do cardiac surgery, isn't it?
That's true.
Brain surgery, isn't it?
Yeah.
Narcissism is on that level.
Yeah.
It's so complicated. You need a lot of if you go to normal counselors, and with all due respect to men of God and all that, they don't understand narcissism. So they just tend to bring you back together. You notice that?
Yes.
They always try to bring you back together.
Yeah.
They believe in family. It was started by God. You know, prayer can do everything. And with patience and good communication, it's just a misunderstanding.
Yeah.
The narcissist likes it. And they can cry. The brother did not tell you that they go to court and they take over the dialogue. They cry so helpless and they have all this. And you know, it's very hard for the judge seated there to peer through unless they are narcissistic aware. The Lord doesn't know narcissism. The Lord doesn't know it. You'll be alone. You can't even use that word there. You'll be told that you're even actually accusing falsely, damaging their reputation. Narcissists get away because people don't know about it. The average person learns about narcissism after suffering from them.
Yeah.
Many of you right now are chatting them. You're being accused of sleeping with everything and you think it's just insecurity. I love you, that's why I'm jealous. That's narcissistic abuse. Every scat or every man you're being accused of them. Even people, they even accuse you of assaulting your daughter sexually. They even accuse you of anything to make you always on the defensive. Usually it's them who are sleeping with everyone. But they accuse you that way to keep you busy defending yourself.
Yeah.
Just to tell you that. don't go that route of presumptuously projecting your good heart. Why don't narcissists marry each other? Because they can't flow. They can't flow. They always look for givers, sincere men, generous people. Whenever I see a gentleman, they keep calling me, this girl I'm living, I tell her, because you don't know life, bro. You are starting life with a cohabitation. Sex is the cheapest thing women can give. They can lie down there and you have it. You know it's hard for men to have sex than women. Eh? Men have some biological response in order to do it. Women don't need any biological response. They lie there, tell ukimaliza nifunike nguo. It's that easy for women. I don't know why brothers value this thing so much. You mean that's why you're getting attached to a girl? I honestly tell them, bro, you're too ignorant about life. Eh? Enda uchapwe makofi, eh? Uchapwe iboko matako ndio amuke, eh? Usinilete ujinga zako. Anytime a man starts cohabitating, living together, I tell him, my brother, listen to brothers who have suffered that. Yes.
Let me just add something on whatever it is said, which is really profound. Unfortunately, and maybe this will shock many of you, this person is a counseling psychologist. So you can imagine what it is I was fighting against.
Because now you have the tools to manipulate properly.
You picked it.
Oh my God, you have all the
They
tools.
become pastors and counselors
Yes.
to control the narrative.
She even went for training to be, she's now a pastor actually, she went for those, what is it called?
Theological training.
Yes.
They do theology.
Yeah, she's done theology.
They do theology.
And that's what was paining me because, and I kept asking, you have the knowledge of psychology. It's like a mechanic. You can't have your vehicle on stones and you're repairing my vehicle.
Yeah.
You need to know what is wrong with your car.
Vehicle.
But when I say that, again, the same statements used to come. You are interfering with my work, you're interfering with my salvation. You know, you're stopped from asking for accountability. So yes, she's trained now as a theologist, she's a trained psychologist, advancing even more into higher levels. So I'm just grateful, like you've mentioned, that we're able to come out alive.
Yeah.
I'm fearful of the next person, but now that is their journey. At least I have managed to pull out.
Yeah.
So
I think it's still very fresh. Like I can feel it in your words, in your voice, that it's still very fresh. And we'll come back to probably getting into, you know, the help you're seeking to actually getting it and moving away from I am looking for help to actually getting it. But I want us to take a quick commercial break. We will be right back. But the question we're asking you today is, have you ever stayed in a relationship that broke you more than it built you, and why did you stay? Have you ever stayed in a relationship that broke you more than it built you, and why did you stay? That is our question of the day today. NTV Kenya on all the social media platforms. Please indulge us in our question of the day. We'll be right back after this break. Welcome back to the Elevate Show, and I hope you are with us so far and you're jibuing our question. The question we're asking you today is, have you ever stayed in a relationship that broke you more than it built you, and why did you stay? Indulge us. It's NTV Kenya on all our social media platforms. And just before the break, we went through a very moving story from John Sunday, and thank you so much for sharing. Na tumelan jina mpya leo. For me, it's the first time to hear narcissism, yawa, that is lined up with religion. So that was quite profound, because we assume everything that is church, everything that is religious is good. And sometimes you use those things to just manipulate other people. But right now, though, the floor is open. You can all ask your questions to Zulu and to John as well. We'll start with you.
Thank you so much, Moikali. So my question is to Zulu.
Yes.
You see young people, you meet in campus, then you start talking, you become friends, then you continue like that, then you start dating. And now, you decide on maybe starting a social media platform. Like, for instance, there are many couples, young couples in TikTok who are making videos. They are viral, but at the end of the day, in 1 or 2 years, they end up breaking. Mm-hmm. You see? You don't know the reason of them breaking. Probably most of them follow, or they do have more of expectations in their relationships, which they do not work. So my question to Zulu is, how would you advise those young couples who are maybe influencers? They were so viral, they were working together. Most of them even became brand ambassadors, but unfortunately they separated. So what would you advise the young couples?
It's not unfortunately, it's expectedly. They separated. And what's your name again?
Massimo Gane is my
Massi,
name.
you never use the word young and the couples again. It's an oxymoron. We never say young soldiers. You get killed. You don't go to a soldier to bullets and battle when you're just young. So marriage and war have one thing in common. They require maturity. So anybody calling themselves, oh, yeah, I see them walking around the city, they're filming, 19 and 20 out, they're carrying their child. It's very good for a show, it's very good for a movie, but it's not reality, it's not good for life. So when you are not mature, take time to grow. In fact, I can never discuss relationships or anything with anybody whose definition is young. I tell them, you're too reckless for life. I don't want to. If I told you I'm going to hang myself and you should come and watch, will you come? That's what they're doing. I can't come to watch you hang yourself. You're doing the wrong thing at the wrong time. When you are young, take time to grow, to stop being young and become mature, become wise, become established, become emotionally healed, become connected, become established. All right? But peace is not for everyone. Most people don't want peace. They want it to trend. They want attention. So they sacrifice the time they should have been growing, showing social media that they're in love. All right? Yeah. And the years of 20s, they are the only years you have to sow. After that, you're supposed to be reaping what you sowed in 20s. So if you sow chaos just for the sake of trending, and TikTok has made them to stream the whole day, just streaming for hours and hours and showing what they're doing and all that, because they're getting some money. Don't trade off your life. Just to tell you, spend your years, particularly prior to 25, your frontal cortex, the brain has not matured. This is biological. Google it. Your brain is not mature before 25.
That's true. It's
not. So you can go ahead and do whatever you want, but this is your life. God says himself, he sets before you life and death. And there's a time and a season for every matter under the sun. And you should choose, he advises you to choose life, but he can't force you. If God can't force you, who am I to force you? So I just noticed your choice, and I decided I don't want to have anything to do with it. We are waking very early to come to Elevate, to go to other shows, to write books, to warn young people that you should prepare for life. If next time a person tells you, can you start dating, I'm in college, tell them, you dealt with your father wounds. You're not even aware what are those. You're not even, have you dealt with your identity, your image? Have you discovered your personality? Have you discovered the career that activates you? Have you met mentors? Have you dealt with your bad temper, your insecurities, your impatience, your shame, your guilt, your anger, your fear, everything you collected by just growing out of a dysfunctioning world? Have you rebalanced it, or you're trying to transfer that because of emotions and infatuations you're calling love and saying, I love you, I love you. You even love life. Do you love yourself? Do you know who is a disorder? Do you know personality disorder? Do you know psychopath? Do you know narcissist? Do you know the marauding wolves that are in the city, in the world, trying to move around and kill you? Are you aware of what can go wrong? Do you know taxation? Do you know finances? Do you know budgeting? Do you know self-control? Do you know impulse purchases? Do you know life? Before you're telling me about I love you, you are lost, my friend. I will not follow you into getting lost. Thank you very much.
Yeah. All right, we can pass on the microphone to the next person.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity. I am Brian Ikologoli, and my question goes directly to you, Zulum. In a relationship, it may look simple, but very disturbing question, because when I'm in love, should I marry a person that I love, or should I marry a person that loves me? Because in his situation, I'm trying to understand that maybe he loved more than the woman loved. And another question to that you may answer, as we're going into marriage, what are some of the communication aesthetics that we should have to ensure that we sustain our marriages?
All right. That's a good thing, Simon. Should you marry the woman who loves you or the one you love? You should marry the person you love as much as they love you. Never marry a person when there's a love differential. When there's a difference in how much you want each other, they'll treat you like they're doing you a favor. They never wanted you that much. That's one reason we ask women never to approach men, never shoot you a shot. Because he will tell you he never wanted you. You're the one who wanted him. The woman who notices a man who has noticed her can only pass in front of him and catch his attention and let him chase. That should be the dynamic the man hunts. But even in a hunting, we said, after you pitch, I like you, I have this proposal, you listen whether she also falls, buys in to the idea. Some women are very beautiful and sexy and lovely, but they're not prepared to be wife. Remember, wife is a very sacrificial thing. After a woman gets married, she disappears. Her name is not in the generations anymore. Women are selling everything by getting married. They have everything they migrate from their people. They come to your people. Then, from then, she gets children. She puts her life on the risk to get children who will not be named after her. Think that's a simple thing?
No, it's not.
The woman is doing, by the time a woman is marrying consciously, not the manipulators who swindle you into thinking you're getting married, but they're just swindling you. When you marry a narcissist, they don't have anything to give you, they just take away from you. So a sincere woman who is getting married knows, I should marry a safe man or I'll lose everything. So I'm just telling you, warning you how much women have to sacrifice to marry right, so that you don't think just because she's pretty, she's ready for marriage. That's why you can't date in the university, because can a student reason on this level? That after getting married, I'm mixing my DNA and determining my future, determining my peace of mind, or my depression, or psychosis, or even premature grave. They think it's romance, these idiots. I love you, we are in love, it's only us. The world doesn't get you two idiots. Continue. The second question is what you should sustain. Bro, I've written books, and we have also many of these shows to tell you, there are so many dynamics to check. But the major thing is this: always marry a kind person and marry a prepared person. Not one who's in love. Some people are obsessed with you because you're a very good person. You're a gentleman. You're so lovely, tall, dark, handsome, you cared, all that. But her, she does not have the capacity to build you. She does not even want to know what your vision to see whether she can support it. She's looking for green card to go to America, and you're trying to settle in Kenya, and she's still trying to marry you. Her cousin is applying for her to join in the UK, and you're trying to marry her, and she's here. She does not even listen. So you're in Europe, you're telling me, my wife is in Europe, and we usually meet once in 3 months. Bro, utatumiwa na Bluetooth. So check whether she has preparedness to support you. Yes.
Absolutely.
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
This is Mrembo Mcheshi Kananu Catherine. I have 2 questions to John and then to Zulu.
Yes.
John, sorry for what you've gone through, but the good thing is that you're very strong, and may God continue to give you more strength even as you continue. Now, when all that was happening in your family, in your marriage, how were the children coping? Like, did it affect them in any way during that period? And then when now your wife came back as a born-again Christian, going to church, were you going to church yourself, or maybe did you think of maybe joining her so that maybe you can be going to church together, maybe as a couple? Because I believe now that she's back, you might have thought that she has changed, she's okay, like we can go together. So maybe you can just give a dose to someone who is not ready to talk, and then to such churches, the pastors who do not like.
All right. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Were the children affected? Yes, they were. I mentioned during one of those many moments, she would make a lot of noise. She actually at some point went to the children's bedroom to wake them up, to tell them, come see your father is sleeping around with many women. She actually said that to them. So yes, they're affected up to now. So I try to, like I'd mentioned, to try and get them help. Because for me, I believe, at least as of now, I'm much more aware. I know whatever is happening. But for them, they're still young. So I try the best I can to get help through the teachers in the classes where they are. So they usually get that help. In fact, at one point, the elder one wrote me a letter. She had come from school half-term. We had gone through her documentation of performance. I'd encouraged her, went to bed. In the morning, I wake up, she has written me a letter. She tells me, Dad, I'm sorry, don't even buy me the shoes. I'm sorry for disappointing you. I'm like, where is this coming from? After I went to bed, she had spoken with the mother. I have no idea whatever it is she might have been told. So in terms of being affected, yes, they are affected. That one I know. This period of picking them every 2 weeks, there's a time I'd organized to go pick them, and she refused. You know, she always wants to create drama before the children. But I try the best I can to avoid exposing them to that. She has used my eldest daughter's phone to send me abusive messages. You know, I'm like, why are you involving the children in our... So in terms of the children being affected, yes, they have, but I'm trying the best in my own way to get help for them. The second question was on?
Whether during that time, maybe you were going to church yourself, or maybe you thought of joining her.
Yeah, so like we mentioned, the red flags and everything. So previously, actually, I used to be the one going to church. I mentioned I was brought up in a Christian family, so for me, church was easy. I would go. She never used to accompany me. Okay. But of course, you can't force, so there's that influence that you have to have. So once in a while, she would come and then stop. You know, so when she came back now, being born again, I had mentioned she moved to many other churches, trying to find, that's what she had explained, trying to find one she could relate to. Yeah. She said the one I used to go was boring, so she was looking for one that she could relate to. So she found that one. But having gone through whatever it is I went through, I'd seen the kind of thing, you're praying here, but you can't even say hi to me. But you would go say hi to those other men outside there. You have finished just reading your Bible here, but you're throwing, nasty words. Okay. So I got conflicted in that. I never bothered, and I didn't want to know, and I still do not want to know what church that is. Okay. Because even for, like you rightfully put it, they never tried reaching back to find out, like, you're married, why would you be going home at 1, such things. So no, I never bothered to go, because I also think at that point I was beginning to shut down and close the chapter.
In terms of communication, communication is very important for coordination. One guy hired a painter to write a sign for his office. The guy was a psychotherapist, so please write psychotherapist here. So the guy thought, in order to make the numbers bigger, I would just split them into 3. So he split into 3, psychotherapist, but then it became psychotherapist.
Ah, yes.
Sometimes the communication You know, so sometimes it's not just the word, it's the spaces in between where you put the full stop. Even the intonation. When I say present and present, I'm writing the same thing. It's what I've stressed, you know, where I put. So it's right, it's very important, but I don't want you to mistake communication with connection. If you're not connecting, people will weaponize the communication. You try to talk to them, they twist words. Make sure there's a flow first. If you try to communicate to the person when there's no flow, it will turn into a fight every time. Because they would rather misunderstand you to find a weapon to harass you than to understand you, and then you have to move to the next thing.
Yeah.
Many people who make all problems of marriage to appear like communication are being shallow. Communication is between people who want this.
Yes.
When people don't care about you. She left after the grief of the child because narcissists don't like to be vulnerable and they don't like to have to comfort you. They feel angry when you are needy that they have to comfort you, that they have to face your needs. They feel annoyed that they have to tell you, oh, sorry, we shall go through this. They can't stand that because they don't care about you. That's why they wake up and go when you're grieved. Wake up and go when you're sick. If you get admitted in a maternity and you have a male narcissist, that's the time to abandon you and make you feel it. If you lose your mother, that's the time they can come and receive sympathy on your behalf, to receive consolation money on your behalf. That's the time they come and receive the benefits. So they're just, the shortest form of the description of narcissist is a devil in human form. Actually, next time I'll teach you the deeper thing. They're usually doing an exchange. Your savior took your sins and gave you his righteousness. The narcissist takes your happiness, gives you their misery. He was going to church, they changed roles. He stopped going, she started going. Okay? Yeah. Eventually, you are the one who cares. They make it look like the ones who cares, you're the devil. They didn't, the pastors were not calling because they were told, I'm dealing with the devil, pray for me. He's so nasty, can't be, look at how he's sweet. He can't, even the father was duped. The father couldn't even call the son-in-law and say, is it true you're not providing? He could have sent messages, say, look how much I'm paying, look how much I'm sending to her. But she went there and cried, help me, I'm still want to sustain my man. Don't confront him, help me in prayers. Just to tell you that they perform an exchange. They take your peace, give you their misery. They use very many techniques, which we may not have time to break today. And you may ask me where they learned it. It's instinctive. Selfishness and arrogance makes people do those things.
You're just born like that?
Yes. Not born, they make themselves like that.
Oh, they make
We all go through things and we choose to be human, or you can choose to be inhuman. They just choose that other path of being selfish, inhuman, insensitive.
Okay.
I can see you being pretty and decide to appreciate you, or decide to feel angry that you are prettier than me. That's a decision. So they have always chosen insecurity and competitiveness. You can also make yourself like that. If you decide to, instead of appreciating who are doing better than you, you feel angry. And you decide to sabotage them. Yeah. That's what makes them like that.
Okay, okay. Okay. Oh. we are running out of time. Yes, please, Zulu, it's okay. Yes. You can answer that. Then
it was about the churches, and I tried to insert it there to say,
yes,
it is upon you, the Christian. You may not correct the whole Christendom in the world. You may not do it, because the Bible itself told you the devil will pretend to be an angel of light, isn't it? Yeah. If the devil himself can pretend, how much more his boys, isn't it? And girls, isn't it? Yes. They're going to sit next to you and appear like an usher, ushering you to church, isn't it?
That's true.
Just to tell you, my warning is to you on a personal level. Just because people talk in religious tones. One lady asked me, I'm located in this village, I'm isolated from, because I told them when you start to get married, go to where the world is. Stop staying in the bush there and the cows and those old men who are taking alcohol. They will not marry you. Go to where and sometimes you are in church, you are the only person of that marriageable age, and you are there seated there feeling special because you are the chair of everything. You are the leader of every speaker. You are preaching every Sunday. You are the pastor of youth, and you're feeling senior here. Yet you are isolated from the world, so that you can carry useless titles. Don't even help you. And time is going, and you're thinking you're special here. Everybody is saluting you, but you are isolated from the world. She told me, I can't. How do I move? The pastor said my blessings are here. If I leave, I said, can you see the conflict of interest the pastor is in? Just because you are saved, don't be senseless. Don't be stupid. The pastor, sometimes they talk from a human point of view. They're not talking always from a spiritual point of view. Be self-caring and connect to God directly.
Absolutely.
Stop depending on other people to take you to God. Yes. Listen to, as you read the scripture, as you pray, what are you feeling? Then act on that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Zulu, for that. And maybe we can have your parting shot as well, John, just before we come to the end of the show.
I think for me, this show and many others is an opportunity for people like myself to come out and share what you've gone through. And I feel so encouraged when I see, the young ones here, attending such, because from learning, then you can be able to avoid the mistakes that we've gone through. For me, what I know has worked for me, even as I look for professional help, yes. God has been in walking with me. Yeah. He stopped me to do many other things that would have been really bad. I'm now much more aware. In future, like you say, I have a list of questions that I would be asking the next person who possibly will come to my life. They are segmented, I have them, so there are 50 actually. So you have to answer them.
I have to do it right this time.
Oh yeah, this time around we have to do it right.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you very much for this opportunity to share, that it might be able to help someone else.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for coming as well. And, you know, for being brave, courageous, and bold. I wish you all the very best. Yeah. When we say that this is a safe space to have these conversations, that we elevate the conversations that are just mundane, we give them life, we give Zulu kutupatia tools. This is exactly what we mean. We all live here. It looks like it's John's story, but we all have something to learn from the conversations that we have every single Wednesday right here on The Elevate Show. From me and Zulu and all my friends here in studio, it's adios. See you next week.